Hi everybody and welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna show you my simple digital art process from start to finish. But before we begin, I'd like to talk about this video's sponsor, Vograce. Vograce is a company that makes custom keychains, stickers, washi tapes, pins and much more. They offer a lot of different options to customize your product. You can add different holographic effects and choose between different materials and finishes. You can even pick from a huge selection of clasp shapes like stars, hearts, a cherry blossom shape or even cats or bunnies, and they also come in different colors. I've heard of Vograce a lot in the past and always was a huge fan, especially of their shiny keychains designed by various artists on YouTube and Instagram, and I often dreamed of getting my own designs turned into products like those. And they actually reached out to me a few weeks ago and offered me the opportunity to create my own keychains and stickers, and I couldn't be any happier with the quality and Vograce's great customer service. So I got that cute fennec fox I digitized a few weeks ago turned into a matte vinyl sticker. Of course I had to turn my strawberry ice cream axolotls into something, so I got that holographic sticker with this cool shattered glass effect, which I really love, and also tried 2 different key charms with this design. And my little bottle dragon also turned into a sticker and a keychain. It's not really a secret that I'm dreaming of opening my own online shop someday in the future, so it's extremely cool for me to see what my products might look like. Thank you so much to Vograce for this amazing opportunity. And if you guys are interested in products designed by me or have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. Now, without further ado, let's draw something digitally. I'm using the Procreate app on my iPad. It's a really good, affordable and intuitive digital drawing tool that also feels very beginner-friendly in my opinion. Drawing on the iPad also is a great alternative to buying a drawing tablet. Anyway, I don't consider myself a great digital artist, but I figured out a simple way of digital drawing I really enjoy. I rarely sketch digitally at all, so most of my digital drawings have a photo of something traditional on their first layer instead of the sketch layer. I start with adding a layer on top of that sketch layer that I use for line art. For this illustration, I wanted to go for a similar style as for my fennec fox sticker, so I already picked the colors beforehand. I'm going for quite bold blue outlines. And because I don't have very steady hands most of the time, my line art varies a lot in line thickness and has many little gaps in it, which is something I accepted as a part of my style. As you can see, I am also using the zoom function a lot to get all the little details. I usually don't draw outlines for the darkest shadows, but because of the bold graphic-y look I am trying to achieve with this little illustration, I am doing it this time. In the end, I am going over the parts of the line art I want to be even thicker. Then I am adding a new layer that I drag under the line art layer, where I fill in the shadows with the same dark blue I used for the outlines. Using an extra layer is not really necessary here, so I merge them in the end and add a new one for the base colors. I oftentimes create layers that aren't really needed, but better safe than sorry. Yeah, as I just mentioned, I'm adding a new layer under the line art layer where I'm going to apply the base colors of the illustration. For flat colors, I'm using one of the default Procreate brushes, the monoline brush. I think most people use the select tool for this, and to be honest, it also looks way more professional, but the monoline brush just feels a lot more comfortable to me. And I don't really like the look of a very flat color in my digital art, so I'm adding another layer as a clipping mask, on which I usually add a gradient or some texture. This time I'm going for texture. After having some fun with the texture brush, I'm playing around with the different layer options. They can have very cool and different effects depending on your piece and colors, so for me there isn't really a go-to option I pick every time. This time I went for the overlay option. And I also lowered the opacity of the overlay layer for a more subtle effect. Then I add another clipping mask on top and pick up the pink color for some kind of blush and some shading. I want this piece to be really fun and vibrant and colorful, but you can also use these techniques with more realistic color choices as well. I also like to add a bit of shading close to the outlines to achieve a little bit more depth. After I'm done with my pink shading, I'm adding another layer for some highlights. I'm picking this really bright yellow as my highlight color. And again, I'm changing the layer setting. I like to use the hard light setting when I'm using vibrant colors like this one for my highlights. Next, I'm adding one more layer on top of the line art layer for the brightest highlights, like the reflection in the eyes and on the nose, as well as some of the edges. After that, I decided that there's not enough contrast for my taste, so I'm going over the pink shading one more time. I also like to add some kind of gradient to the line art, so I'm creating another layer on top of the line art layer, make it a clipping mask, change the layer settings to screen, and add some white to it using a thick brush where I want the outlines to appear lighter. Then I use the Gaussian blur tool for a smoother gradient and lower the opacity until I'm happy with the look. In the end, I'm adding a background color as well as a white border around the illustration to make it stand out a bit more. Yeah, and this is pretty much my digital drawing process from start to finish. The final look depends a lot on the rendering and the brushes I use, but the process itself is pretty much the same every single time. I hope this was helpful for you and that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, let me know if you'd like to see more of my digital art. Thanks again to Vograce for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys for watching till the end and have a wonderful rest of your day.